It's outrageous what's going on.
People can't believe you don't smoke weed.
Everyone always says that. Like, why can't you just be like curious? Why do you have to be high?
Fair.
Yeah, no,
I think that's fair.
I think it's very fair. I just
like, this guy smokes a ton of weed. It's like, no, I'm just a
it's
curious
just
dude.
these are the conversations that people have. You're
why
just,
though? Why do you have to be high to be like, what the fuck's going on?
you don't have to be. I
You
just
don't-
think it triggers a certain part of your brain that makes you
does.
more like curious and
Maybe we should all be smoking then. I don't even
I
smoke.
think there's a lot of people that believe that.
Yeah. if that is the answer to like people wanting answers and like and being like stunned at how impressive the world is, then like we should all be high all the time.
We are back, everybody. The Equinox EV is going to help you show up wherever you're going in style. It's athletic, bold, and commanding. We got a lovely show today. We're in person. We're together. We are in Carlsbad, California. We got a lot to talk about. Brooks Koepka and all kinds of LIV rumors. We're talking Adidas and the history of Adidas because we're down here at HQ. Tour. We got lists. There's a bunch of lists on this show.
We do a lot of data. It's a data-driven show, I would say.
Yep.
I do like to, this is the stuff that we do when we're on the road. We like to pull out our phones, dive deep into just a random golfer or athlete. We try and get people in the car to guess it, and I'm starting to bring that more to the podcast. I think it brings up good conversation. People listening to it like to guess along with it. So, yeah, we're starting to bring up a lot of top 10s, and today's top 10 is an interesting one, and it has to do with private golf courses in the States, in the United States. So I think some of the numbers are going to shock you. Some of the places will shock you that have mainly a lot of private golf courses. So,
all brought to you by the Equinox EV from Chevy, which offers 319 miles of EPA estimated electric range with front-wheel drive. Leave the driving to Equinox EV. Show up to the course energized with available Super Cruise hands-free driver assistance technology. We've got the massive 17-inch diagonal center screen, the largest of any EV in its class. It really is magical. It's dominant, but in an awesome, classy way. When it comes to EVs, the Chevy Equinox EV is the smartest choice you can make. Foreplay, presented by Barstool Sports. We are in person. I know everybody loves when we do in-person podcasts. They're just better objectively. We got a nice holiday tree behind us, I guess I would say. It's like a white tree. We're at Adidas. We're at Adidas North American Golf headquarters.
Yeah, we're in San Diego.
Yep, we're in the San Diego, Carlsbad. Last night we were in Encinitas. Is that right?
Yep.
For a little sushi. We're out here for meet. We don't do a lot of planning on our side of the operation, so we're out here doing like planning and styling and working with our great friends at Adidas Golf to figure out the different sort of like drops next year. Who likes what style, what shoes, what types of clothes, so that when we appear in videos at certain live events, et cetera, throughout the year, that we are kind of like optimizing our preferences within Adidas Golf and the whole deal, which is cool as shit to be honest with you.
It did hit my ear in a strange way when you were about to say we're in San Diego for meetings. Because that is something we don't normally do.
Nope.
Now, we did film, me and Frankie filmed a video yesterday, so we were doing a little bit of content, but we really did just come out here to have some meetings with Adidas. They're great, and we love them, and we've got their partnership going forward. So, yeah, we wanted to come out here and sort of talk about what's coming up in the next year. So that's what we're doing.
yeah, filmed the Breaking 85. I think it was worth the trip is what I'll say.
I agree with
I
that.
think it was definitely worth the trip out west. So keep an eye out for that. Next week, I believe, is when that's coming out. Right, Brennan Jones? Oh, yeah.
An all-time title from us on the last Breaking 85.
What was it?
All time.
Finally, something clicked. It's a good
Oh,
title.
with the driver.
With the driver. I did, as you would imagine, I got a few DMs of people being like, it didn't all click,
What'd you shoot?
94.
Nothing clicked.
And the video series is Breaking 85.
I know. That's the thing. And
Playing the game, baby.
you just go out there and
Well, you were hitting your drives phenomenally.
I've been hitting my driver really well.
Yeah.
It's the nature of golf, and people who do play golf get it, where if you're going to film a series where whenever you go out and play golf and you're trying to break a number, there's going to be times when you shoot 87 and there's going to be times when you shoot 94. And those are just the episodes that we're going to have to get through.
Oh, yeah, dude. I always laugh about that, and we've done a ton of this conversing on the show about the handicaps and stuff, but my handicap's at like an all-time low, and my average for the round or for the year is still over 80.
Yeah.
It's like 80.3 or something like that. So it's like you're going to shoot some high rounds. Shot 106 at Oakmont, so you just never know what you're going to get out there. But yeah, and you see it at like every level of golf. What was it? Was it Ricky Fowler at Shinnecock? I think had a 19-stroke difference from like Thursday to Friday round.
Yeah.
I think he shot like 84-65 or something like that.
Happens
So
to everybody.
it's the game of golf, man. But I do like that. Next one should be like he did it, and it's like
Well,
made
you
his
don't
tee
know.
time on.
Yeah,
He woke up.
I mean, good luck titling the next one. I don't know what you're gonna do. So it's very hard. I mean, whatever. We might be giving away too much.
Career
but it's
low.
Really hard. It's really hard to
And then it's like,
promote.
Temperature when we filmed.
Right.
Brennan liked that one. Brennan got a laugh out of that one. But yeah,
Adidas Golf headquarters is really cool. This is where everything. I think is it the whole global Adidas Golf is here, or is it just North American?
this is just golf.
No, I know. Adidas Golf, is that like the global Adidas Golf is right here?
Sure, we'll call it that.
We'll call it that.
We'll call it that.
It's crazy when you walk around. Like they'll point towards corners of the office, and like this guy and this girl, they all just they spearhead this, and it's like the biggest project you can ever imagine. Working on things that are coming out in 2027. They're working on that now, and they have to finalize that now. So like having to foresee what trends are going to be
they're
like.
working on fall winter 2027.
Fall winter 2027 is what's happening all around us. I'm looking at mannequins right now behind this camera of mannequins dressed up in fall 2027 gear. It's like time travel, and they have to realize, or they have to guess what they think is going to be like in and trendy
The trends.
in 2027, because 2026 is already in boxes getting shipped out to stores. 2027, you need to get that made. I mean, when you're actually making the new materials and stuff like that, and they're coming out with new shoes and they're coming out with new materials, you know, maybe you want to put the Boost, which is a whole. We learned about all this stuff today. The
Ultra Boost, is that what it is?
which the Boost is just that foam base that can go in any type of golf shoe or regular running shoe or just comfort shoe. If you want to add that to a golf shoe for 2027, that needs to be done now. They're piecing together different types of things. They're making things more aerodynamic in terms of shoes. We saw a couple of the new stuff that's coming out next year.
Yep.
Things have different tips and different edges and different soles and different foams and all of it. It's really, really cool to see this operation. And we've really touched on this a lot when we first did the partnership with Adidas, but the global aspect of it and how big they actually are, when you see it on this scale, it's pretty impressive. So really, really cool to see behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's been great.
We were walking by a bunch of offices, you know, everybody's office. This was, you know, Sean's office, and this was Steve's office. In the next room we walked by, it said Adi Dassler on it. Me and Trent looked at each other. We're like, he still has an office.
Yeah.
And it was a conference room.
It was a conference room.
It was a conference room named
It's,
after
you know, I feel like picking the name of conference rooms is always an issue when they have a big building like this, and one they just put Adi Dassler. But yeah, there was a half a beat where I like kind of forgot where I was.
We looked at each other like, that guy is still working.
Isn't our guy Josh Isner at Axon, where Lurch works, isn't their Boston headquarters, all their rooms are named after Barstool things?
Is that right? I wouldn't be surprised.
Is that right?
Isn't one of the rooms like the El Presidente and shit like that?
I would not.
Am I just
surprise.
making that up? Or I mean, it feels like I had a stroke right now.
I had not heard that, but it could be true. That sounds like something that could be true.
I think that's true. I think it's like the To the Moon room and stuff
Oh, wow.
like that.
Well, I
Yeah.
remember
To
when
the moon room.
Barstool opened the second New York City office. They were trying to figure out names for the conference rooms. I don't know what they ended up going with. The nameplates might just be blank. I don't
Yeah.
remember what they picked, but yeah, it's always a discussion. That feels like something that Barstool would do, right?
He's got those Barstool tattoos on him.
He does. He's got Pirate Dog.
Pirate
Yeah.
Dog. Yeah.
And a Monster Hits Only Club.
MHOC.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Isner, you know, he deserves to be considered a little bit weird for that.
Yeah.
He's got an MHOC tattoo.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. I've only seen the Pirate Dog.
Yeah, because he joined the MHOC.
Yeah.
So I
Who'd have
think
been?
he kind of went full Dan Rappaport on that and just got a tattoo for it.
He's not gonna like that comparison, I would imagine.
No.
That's all right. I mean, you know.
You ever talk about that Dan Rappaport tattoo?
Have we said that on
I don't
here?
think
We've
so.
talked about it in meetings and such before.
It got brought up in a pretty big meeting recently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we were kicking around different alternate Barstool Golf logos,
Yeah.
and there was one out of a bunch of logos that got sent in a deck. You know, there was like a bear, and then there was a dog holding like a pin in his mouth or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I don't even know if that was one, but maybe we should think about that. I
You know, like
that.
the bear one we kind of put on the Common Man Country Club
Common Man
stuff.
Country
like
Club.
we
Yeah.
use, you know, we use some of them.
And then so there was one of a golf ball that was similar to the pickleball logo that we had made for
Mhm.
the pickleball tour, which rest in peace pickleball tour. That was a fun time, fun couple of years.
Do you know I saw Larry Fitzgerald sold his pickleball team?
Did he?
Mm-hmm.
Did he make a profit on it?
I think he said no.
Okay.
Well, he spoke at the Waste Management Phoenix Open luncheon kickoff last week. He was like the guest note speaker.
Mm-hmm.
So he was up there for like an hour, and they were talking about, oh, you own your pickleball team and all that. And he's like, actually, we sold it. And then he was like, oh, how'd that go? And he looked over at his investment guy over there and goes, yeah, how'd we do on that one? And that didn't seem like they did amazing. Yeah, no.
Yeah, pickleball's interesting because it's still a game that is growing, I think, on the participation side of just regular amateur players that just want to play. You can't get courts still because they're just all filled out, but I just don't know that the pro game is translating at all.
Yeah.
Nobody's watching professional pickleball.
Yeah, I mean, I see
people might come after me for that, but on a grand scale, from how much money that's gotten infused into this, like if we think no one's watching LIV, nobody's watching professional pickleball.
We've talked about it a lot with TGL and all this stuff. Right now, and certainly I think going forward, like the sports are kind of just the sports.
Yeah.
In terms of professional leagues and getting people to watch them and all that, it's just really, really hard to do that, especially with pickleball and when tennis exists. Like people are like, I'm just going to watch tennis, I think.
Right.
You know?
It's also a crowded, like getting people's attention spans and entertainment is an insanely crowded space right now.
As crowded as it's ever been.
And it used to be for a long time, it was like you turned on a television and you had like 5 channels. And those were like the options for entertainment. Or you sat by candlelight and you read, which was the way that people did it for thousands of years.
Right.
That was sort of your option. And then they came like cables. There are more channels. Now, you know, with like how many different streaming services everybody has, YouTube alone, you could go on there and watch just anything. TikTok, like a lot of people obviously just sit in bed and don't even turn their TV on. They just scroll through TikTok or through Reels. We all been caught doing that. So then if you're competing for that time with like pro whatever, whether it's TGL, whether it's what we do, which is like, that's, you know, I know we've harped on and talked about the Internet Invitational a ton, but a lot of the reasons like we're incredibly like proud of what we're able to do because it's hard to get people's attention span that much. There's so much competition out there. You're going up against like these behemoth, you know, I kind of mentioned in the meeting today, but it's like Netflix is now taking over the whole world of entertainment, buying like Warner Brothers, and they got Harry Potter, they got Game of Thrones, they got Succession now, they've got all that under one umbrella. So point being, when you come in with like either it's LIV or TGL or pickleball, pro pickleball, whatever it might be, it's just hard as shit to try to capture people's attention.
Yeah, getting the best athletes together used to mean something, and now you can see that everywhere.
Yep.
But anyway, to finish that off, we had this logo of this golf ball, and it was like a cute little guy. I don't know if he was holding a club or anything. Maybe he was. Maybe like leaning on a club.
Yeah, I think he might have been.
It was a little golf ball with legs and arms. And I think we were like, oh, we really like that logo. And Dan said, I really like that logo. He wrote in the group chat. I really like that one. He hearted it. And then I think the next week when we saw him, he had it tattooed on his arm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Real tattoo, not like one of those fake ones.
Yep.
Which is, I mean, I'm not shitting on the tattoo. We came up with the logo, the idea, and all that. It's just the type, like that was like a wild move. If we're talking about crazy tattoos, like a logo we never ended up even really using. And what if we did start using it? Like you're gonna have like a Barstool Golf tattoo on you?
You do kind of find there's in terms of people who get tattoos, there's 2 schools. There's one where it's like every tattoo has the most meaning ever. And you don't put it on your body unless it has a ton of meaning. Like you look at Robbie Fox, who works at Barstool.
He's got tattoos.
He's got a lot of them, and they all have meaning. There's the Beatles, there's Batman, there's Star Wars.
Lightsaber.
Everything has a meaning. And then there's other people who are just like, oh, I like that. I'm going to put it on my body.
I guess he could make the argument that it has meaning. I mean, it's a golf ball.
True.
His life is golf.
Yeah, golf ball. He was part of this brand.
He was
kinda,
a part, yeah.
Right. So,
no, I'm not like doing it to poke fun at like the decision to get a tattoo. It's just like that was one of the more unique tattoos, or I guess inceptions of the idea of a tattoo that I had ever seen. Like taking a logo from a meeting and just throwing it on your body.
There is something I respect about that where you're just like, I like the way that looks, so I'm going to tattoo it on me.
Right.
Point is, I still like to make fun of Josh for having Barstool tattoos.
Monster hit.
He's got MHOC. I didn't remember fully that he has the MHOC one, but I think now I'm pretty sure that's true.
I think it's true.
Definitely has the pirate dog.
For sure.
Definitely has the pirate dog. But yeah, we're here. Adidas, awesome. We're at the Global HQ. A little bit of golf over the weekend. The Australian Open had quite the finish, where mostly Cam Smith was like the big name that was up there in the mix coming down the stretch at Royal Melbourne. He 3-jacked on the 72nd hole of the event, missed like a 5-footer to go to a playoff if people were watching, Rory had actually made like the same putt earlier and played like 15 feet of break on a 15-foot putt. Came in completely sideways, went in. Cam Smith had like a version of that putt. Ended up 3-jacking, but a lot of the highlight was Royal Melbourne. Everybody was just pretty jazzed up watching it. That place is awesome. First time really seeing it on like the global stage since 2019 when we were there for the President's Cup, but really got me going again just on Australian golf. In Australia, you know, like I know that's a big focal point for LIV is being the global tour. We got some LIV stuff to talk about too. But just from you know, it seems like a whole world ago. That was over 6 years ago that we went to Australia, which is laughable to say
Crazy.
that number out loud. But Australia, man, I would like to see, like, Australia is a place that I could see them having at some point, like, a major championship. That's how big golf is down there.
Yeah, the people of Australia love golf. Every time there's an event there, they show out. And I think that means something.
Yeah, I do too. What is it, like LIV Golf Adelaide, I think?
Yes.
That's the one that has the party hole where,
Yeah.
like, Patrick Reed got the ace, and they have, like, lines out the door, and they go nuts for it. It is, like, as guys that trap, you know, like, we're discussing some potential trips in the next couple of years, and you really learn that, like, the juice needs to be worth the squeeze and how far you're going to go and how much that affects your life when you travel already. So then, like, building out a massive event for your tour and for everybody from the op standpoint, from all the players that got to go, from all that, and having them go to Australia is, like, such an unimaginable undertaking that I get why that's not maybe for PGA Tour related, right? But then again, they go to Japan, right? It's like there's damn events in Japan and whatnot. But yeah, just seeing golf in Australia every time it was back-to-back weeks where they had the the Australian PGA, and then it was the Aussie Open, I believe, back-to-back. Golf's just huge down there, and it kind of reminded me of Australia and Australian golf as someone that hadn't seen it in a while.
No, I mean, this game will take you to crazy places. I mean, we went to Australia. It was out of control. I still can't believe that we went there.
I can't either, man.
I definitely want. I mean, we talked about the travel today, and like the more you think about it, the fact that we'll be able to go see insane places on this earth when this game, like the game's bringing us to. I mean, we talked about Germany in the meeting because that's where Adidas headquarters is, and like to be able to go there and see the whole operation of where this whole entire company even started, and that headquarters where every decision that you'll see all of us wearing the 3 stripes, so that's where it all comes from, and to see the golf around there, like that would be something really cool to go and see. But like the way that these golfers, they go to Japan, they go to Australia, they go all over the place, like they bring their families with them. It's like such a cool experience for them. Like I'm sure playing in Japan to go try and win a bunch of money and playing unreal golf courses that you would never usually see, and like having your family on a vacation with you, that's a pretty damn good couple weeks for those guys.
Yeah, I saw like Max Homa, I think, put up on his story and was like, I'm seeing like I just have to go play the Australian Open next year. It's like pretty much what he put up there, which was cool. And like, I know he's always been big on, I think he won maybe 2 years ago in South Africa, which they were there for the DP World Tour, I think.
Talked to Nick Taylor about going to South Africa. He's like, it's going to be sick. It's like bringing the family. We're going to go. It's like, we're going to go do the safari after it. It's like, that's an unbelievable experience.
You have a chance to go down there and win like $1 million.
Yeah, just play good golf.
Yeah, right. You play well, you win $1 million. But no, that is one of the cooler parts of this entire game is where it takes you. It gives you like a reason to go places. Gives you something to do when you go places, right? Because it's like when I travel a lot, it's like I'm going to go to like a restaurant and a bar.
I know, it's the same. I know.
And you're like,
Yeah.
You know,
And sometimes it's just the hotel.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm a big hotel stay-in guy, which is not the right way to do it. A couple of years ago when you and I we were still traveling a ton. We always are, but like you and I think made a real concerted effort to like go see things. Where was it? The center of the universe. Where was that?
Oh yeah, that was in
Tulsa,
Oklahoma.
And we just we would look things up and like, hey, we're gonna
center of the universe.
Well, they call it that, but it's like the way that they built this city center.
San Francisco.
It's called the center of the universe. So like you stand on this city center, and there's these buildings around. The way that they built it, it's like an architectural phenomenon that when you stand on the circle, you can hear your voice echo back to you, like reverberate back to you. But if you stand just like 1 inch to the left, you can't. It's just regular.
It's actually pretty
As you're speaking on top of the circle, it's like you're screaming into a megaphone. It's like the crazy. I don't know what it is. In Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yeah,
I liked Tulsa when we were there.
Yeah.
Paul McCartney was there recently.
That's right.
Really?
Down here at the Louisiana River.
Tulsa.
He did a video. Paul McCartney.
Can we play this video
of the Beatles by himself under an overpass in Tulsa, being like, "Look where I am." He's looking at graffiti
Well,
under there.
I'm not laughing right now because I've seen it a million times and I've gotten all the laughing tears out of me.
We watched
already.
it during Breaking 85 yesterday.
When Robbie Fox sent me this video, I legitimately I cried laughing because like it's just this video right here.
I haven't seen this
He's
yet.
like, "Hello."
Well, here we are in Tulsa, right by the Arkansas River, which is a pretty big, groovy one. There it goes, look at that. Some sort of overpass. It's a beautiful day. And we got the usual graffiti rocking away. A little butterfly, either. Yeah, it feels like springtime. It's in the middle of October. I'm not complaining.
What is he doing under there? Look at it. There's cars flying by him. Bye. Well, dude,
wild,
imagine
man.
stumbling down there. You're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and you're like, all right, let's go maybe fish underneath the overpass like we used to when Granddad used to take us down there.
Yep.
And you're down there and you have a couple beers and like you're looking, you cast your little rod there and you're like, what are we going to find? Oh, yeah, throw me a beer. All right, let's go. And you look across the way and you're like, all right, there's no way. And you keep going, and you're like, you go into your tackle box, and like you make a phone call or something, and then you look over and you see this guy still sitting there. He's looking at the Arkansas River, and you say to your buddy, you go, "This is gonna sound insane, but is that Paul McCartney? Is that fucking Paul McCartney over there?" And he's like, "Dude, like, are you on mushrooms right now? There's
Right.
no way." And he's like, "Bro, I'm telling you, that's fucking Paul McCartney. That's the Beatles. That is the Beatle." No, man, there's no way. And then they go home. They don't confront him because they think they're seeing a ghost. They go home and they look on Instagram. It was Paul McCartney in Tulsa, Oklahoma today, and he posted that video.
Sure enough.
Can't believe it.
What was he doing?
I don't know.
Been high as a kite.
Yeah.
He's old too.
Down here.
80, probably mid-80s would be my guess.
He
God,
looks-
the
he
Beatles
looks
are the
great.
best,
Yeah.
man. They're just the best. That Beatles anthology, you got to watch it on Disney Plus. It's amazing what they accomplished in like 6 years, whatever it was, 7 years.
Wasn't very long.
No.
Wasn't very long at all. The Beatles.
Oh,
Sir Paul
the
McCartney
Beatles.
out there.
You got to just, if you haven't done it yet in your life, I feel like everybody has to have that period where you just dive into the Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody does it, but I think everybody should. It's so, there's not even, I mean, the music is obviously great. The story's incredible. There's so many books. There's so many documentaries. Just go. Try it.
I talked about this in Breaking 85, but I'll say it here too because it's so much in my head and I can't wait to go back and do more of it. So I had gotten a vinyl record player. I got a turntable for probably my birthday 3 years ago. Hannah got me one. She like surprised me with one. And I was pretty into playing records because it's got a different sound to it. And it's just a whole experience. We've talked about what a vinyl is and like how insane technology is in that, right? I mean, we want to talk about all this other technology,
We were
right?
doing the ones and zeros conversation last week.
Yeah, we did that off air.
Yep, in the car.
You
That was
want
one
to
of
get
our
into
big
that?
car
Like, all right, what are
conversations.
you fucking nuts? We talked. All right, let me just get into it real quick. So a record player, and I like kind of got into it, but I felt like I was forcing it because the sound was cool, but it was like the way that the turntable and the record player was like the speaker was attached to it, so it didn't really generate like that big of a sound. And I'm like, I'd rather just listen to my Spotify that's coming through all these speakers. And then so I brought it to my basement. I've actually really built out a man cave in the basement. Like I've got it dialed in. I got my little Islander flags on the wall. I've got jerseys on the wall. I got the whole deal. And I had the record player down there, and this guy came to Borelli's and gave my dad. I guess he was cleaning out his like dad's house, and he's one of my dad's friends or like a regular Borelli's. And he brought a bunch of old records, a bunch of old vinyls to Borelli's and just gave them to my dad. Led Zeppelin 2, like the original one, the original like vinyl of it. The Eagles' Greatest Hits vinyl, which is like their biggest seller of all time. It's got the 12 songs in there for side A, side B. Beatles, Let It Be album, all these things. So I'm like, holy shit, this is awesome. So I had Don over, my father-in-law, and we're watching football, and then I'm showing him the basement, and then I had this record player. I'm like, you know what? I don't know what made me do it. I think because Don just loves music, that I went over to the record player, and I put one on. I put Led Zeppelin 2 on, and I hit a button, and it connected to my sound system that I have in the basement, like randomly, Bluetooth. I guess because I had a setting on the sound by accident that it connected to my vinyl record player, and all of a sudden, you heard the crackling real loud, like that fucking vinyl sound. that little crackling that everyone, if you ever heard a vinyl record, like you know exactly what I'm talking about. And then that first fucking, it wasn't Moby Dick. I don't know what that first song is on Led Zeppelin 2, but it hits you like a ton of bricks. And we were like, whoa, it's working. Like, and it was coming through the whole basement. And we sat down, we listened to freaking hours of vinyl records. And it's just like, it's got to, even when it comes through a new age speaker, it's got that sound that you're like, this is what it sounded like when the Beatles and when Led Zeppelin heard it through their own amplifier. You know what I mean? Like this is what they heard. They didn't hear the remastered version that came through our AirPods. This is like what they heard of the music, and then they're like, yeah, put this out to the world.
Jimmy Page was like, put that record out.
Jimmy Page, John Paul Jones, like, that's it. John Bonham heard his drums on there. He's like, send it out.
Robert Plant.
Yep.
We nailed him. All four.
Send it out. Awesome.
It is.
So I've been deep in the weeds. I'm watching TV. I'm playing video games. I'm listening to vinyls now.
Okay.
It changes the game. It really does. It makes you want to listen to the album.
Yep.
Yeah, like the actual album.
Front to back.
Because you can't, at least I have a record player and I do listen to it from time to time, but you just start it. You put it on the furthest edge and it goes. You're not just like, oh, I want to listen to this song today. We just have the luxury of
Which
nowadays.
is an awesome way to do it, by the way.
Of course it is.
Such
We
a
have
good
the
way
luxury now where we can pick any song
I'm
from
going to
any
go to
era.
just a totally different album in the next song, and then I'm just going to go to
Right.
totally
We have
different.
that luxury where you can listen to a song from that was put out yesterday and a song that was put out in the 1910s, and it can go back to back. But with that, you put it on the record and it just spins and you listen to it. It's a good way to do it. I'm glad you brought that up because it's a more authentic way to listen
Whole
to
lot
music.
of loves that first song.
You ever see the clip of Jimmy Page playing that for Jack White and oh man,
No.
he does it. He starts playing it and they just like
They lose their mind.
they lose their minds and they're just staring at Jimmy Page. I wish I could think of the guy's name, but
One of my favorite video series on YouTube is people listening to music for the first time and then playing the drums to it, like drummers, and they've never heard it. So like there was this soul drummer, like a jazz drummer, that heard Blink-182 for the first time. So they play it for him without the drums, and he has to put his drum beats to it. He has to lay the drum track to what he thinks it would sound like, and you compare that to what Travis Barker does, and it's fucking nuts. Some of like the fills line up. It's awesome.
Are they
It's incredible.
Are they usually like good additions? Or
Yes.
are they like bad?
They are, but it also gives you appreciation for the original sound and like how good the drummers
the
are
guy
on the
nailed it.
original.
Yeah.
Or like maybe on some other songs, like Chad Smith, the Red Hot Chili Peppers. He did one listening to a song that he had never heard, like a new age song, and he put the drums to it, and you're like, oh, I like that better now. It's really cool. You can, I mean, a billion different YouTube channels do it, so go watch them.
The Edge. You go on YouTube and look up
Oh, is that what it is?
Jack White, The Edge,
The Edge,
and
okay.
Jimmy Page, and you'll watch a video of him playing Whole Lot of Love. They like can't believe it. But
Yeah, we had a wild car conversation over. Where were we?
I
We
don't
there
know.
for the
Barstool Classic Championship?
maybe, but then why would I have been in the car? Was what I was trying to think. Somebody was asking about bits.
Well,
and
there's been a lot of
essentially-
Taylor
memory
Media Day.
talk. There's been a lot of memory talk.
Oh, it might have been Taylor Made Media Day.
was.
It was Taylor
memory
Made
talk.
Media Day. We were
because Nate the
driving.
Great was there.
Nate the Great was there. Yeah, because we had been talking a lot, like memory, you listen to a lot of podcasts, memory and like bits and energy and all that. It's like taking over with a lot of the discussion. And memory is a crazy, interesting thing because obviously with what we do and how much we film stuff, like memory is enormous. It's our whole operation from a content standpoint. And we were like, Frankie, I think you were like, what is it? Like,
Well,
what is that?
I saw something
What
come
is it?
across my desk. I was sitting in the front seat of that car, and something on Instagram came up where it's like, this guy had what's worth $1 billion on his Bitcoin in 1995 on a flash drive or whatever.
Yeah, and he lost it.
And
in a
I'm
dump or
thinking to
whatever.
myself, like, what is at its common, like, simple core, what is a flash drive? Like, you keep saying that it was on it and it got lost. What got lost? What is it? What is going in it? Is it? I'm not physically taking a Bitcoin and throwing it in there and saying, "Hey, walk this to the store and put it in there." It's just like it's information stored on a physical thing that I can put in my pocket and walk away. Then you talk about the Internet Invitational, terabytes of footage. So that means that my bladed wedge sat on a physical thing and got carried around and brought on a plane and then plugged into a computer and then you plugged it in. And then I'm just like blading a wedge on a screen. Like, what is that even? What is this technology, right? So then I talked to ChatGPT and I said, Explain this to me like I'm 5 years old and the dumbest 5-year-old you've ever spoken to. Explain to me memory on a hard drive, and it really was still unbelievably confusing. It was a bunch of zeros and ones that the computer,
Billions of them, billions of lines of ones and
of
zeros.
zeros and ones that the computer program transmits. Like Trent right now on YouTube, you're a billions and billions of zeros and ones. And somehow the processing is just processing all those zeros and ones to make you look like you have glasses like that. And as you take them off, it's processing all of that. And it's recreating that image on that screen, just zeros and ones. And I guess the memory, it said to think of it as a on and off switch. So like as all those zeros and ones are in whatever formation that they are, it gets it gets turned off. And then when you flip the switch back on, the last thing that was there is now when you plug it back in and when you want to re-see it. You know what I'm saying? And that's that's as simple as I can fucking, I don't know. I actually, you know what I mean?
Oh, I know exactly what
it
you
is
mean.
what it is, man. No one actually knows.
It is what it is, man.
It reminds me of that great Nate Bargatze bit where he's like, if you let me time travel, you take me back in time. If you were like, they were like, make a cell phone. You'd be like, I have no idea how to do that.
Dude,
like, if I went back in time, I wouldn't change the past or the future because I wouldn't have any new information that I could provide to the people in the past.
No, I think you would be infinitely dumber than they are.
Right.
Because I think that, like, the things that we're, like they talk about a lot with AI, whereas it's not, like, if you're going to be very successful in the upcoming technological era, it's going to be because you're very efficient at utilizing AI. And that doesn't mean necessarily you're not going to know anything, but that's like we're very efficient at like using the cell phone and like communicating with people on the cell phone, being able to build out like a network or a business or whatever it might be with like using your phone, using your computer, using the resources that we have. If you went back 200 years where they had none of that, it was like they're navigating their way around at night on the sea based on the stars.
Yeah.
And shit, I'm just floating right into an iceberg and I'm gone. It's like, I don't know shit. I don't know how to make a fire from scratch. I don't know how to I wouldn't be able to build like shelter.
Nope.
I'm like, no, what do you mean? I'm just going to go buy a house. I'm going to put a down payment on 20%. I'm going to pay a mortgage over 15, 30 years. And like, that's what I'm going to do. They'd be like, no, you got to like build a fucking structure. You're going to die out here.
Bottom line, we just don't know how anything works.
And how shit works.
So there are billions of these tiny switches. Think of each as an on and off switch. There are billions of these tiny switches inside your phone, laptop, PlayStation, whatever you want to think of. They are so small you could fit millions of these switches on the head of a pin inside your phone. So millions inside the head of a pin. That's how small these little points are. So imagine your device has a giant wall filled of these light switches, all tiny, all stuck in the on or off position. That frozen pattern of whatever it's processing, when it's turned off, that is the data that you saved. I don't know who figured this out. I don't know how we figured this out.
Who did this?
I do think that we're living in a world now where like it's all just so insane and no one's taking the time to understand how insane it's gotten. This is the most complex stuff you can even we're all sitting here laughing about saving something on a floppy disk. Like that is the most minuscule impressive thing of all in a list of impressive things that we all. This guy's filming us right now on like a digital camera, and it's gonna like go to Kyle Timms in freaking Pennsylvania. It's outrageous what's going on.
People can't believe you don't smoke weed.
Everyone always says that. Like, why can't you just be like curious? Why do you have to be high?
Fair.
Yeah, no,
I think that's fair.
I think it's very fair. I just
like this guy smokes a ton of weed. It's like, no, I'm just a curious dude.
These are the conversations that people have.
Why though? Why do you have to be high to be like, what the fuck's going on?
You don't have to be. I just think it triggers a certain part of your brain that makes you more like curious and
maybe we should all be smoking then. I don't even smoke.
I think there's a lot of people that believe that.
Yeah. if that is the answer to like people wanting answers and like and being like stunned at how impressive the world is, then like we should all be high all the time.
Well, I think a lot of like psychedelics and such, people are like, yeah, that's why you do them. It unlocks, like they talk about Steve Jobs and all the shit that he took in his like late teens and 20s that like
Burning Man area shit,
put
like
his brain into a place of like seeing the world sideways instead of from the same angle, and he was able to come up with wild ideas.
I'm just saying, like, simple things that are just normal to us, when you really break it down, we just keep floating by on this earth and being like we're not even really thinking about how insane it is. It's insane.
I think it was to throw it back to Steve Jobs, was like one of his most viral emails in like the last year of his life was talking about how on a day-to-day basis he relies heavily on things that he didn't invent, like 100%. So his whole point in it is like, I'll have to pull the whole thing up, but it's like, you know, I go to like work in like a car that I didn't invent, and I stop and I order like my
It's
food
crazy.
from like a microphone that I didn't invent, and then someone hands me the food in like a bag that I didn't invent. Somebody, you know, like, so on a day-to-day basis, even to get to the point where I start to do my job, are like thousands of things that other people have done that I just take for granted and do all day.
Yeah.
All day long.
You know, we're sitting in this building right now that someone built that like, it could easily just collapse and we die,
Right.
but we're just trusting that
Right.
thousands of people built this
Right.
building perfectly.
Right.
Like, we're just sitting in
That's
here.
a high thought.
Bluetooth,
Yeah, that is a
Bluetooth,
high
man.
thought. We got to get out of this building.
When you're just like in a building, you're just like, somebody had to build this, and you have to put it together perfectly, otherwise structurally it will fall.
Do you think it takes away from your enjoyment of life if you're constantly thinking about, like when you're just FaceTiming someone and they're in London and you're just talking to them through your phone, thinking about how outrageous that actually is, that accomplishment? Like, do you think that, is that why we all just don't question what's actually going on? We just live and we just accept that this is the technology?
Well, I think if it's the convenience of it overrides that. Of you're just like, this is amazing. I think people are always, they're never saying it really, but there is an element of like, it's amazing that I can see my mom in Arizona.
Do you think that we're amazed, or are we just so like numb to it at this point?
I'm usually just annoyed.
Yeah, it's not
FaceTime.
working better.
Yeah, right.
I think,
Or it's,
we're
like,
pretty numb. I
blurry.
think we're pretty numb
Like
to it.
it's flying into space and then into their phone instantaneous,
Instantly.
like so instantaneously. And we're just like, yeah, that's how it should work. What are we do? What's flying into space? What?
Oh, dude, come on.
What is it?
I barely graduated high school.
I know, but like, who figured this shit out?
I
And
think
it's flying at 1 billion miles an hour.
I think it's fucking crazy that someone sent me like a really private text message like immediately to me right now that it wouldn't just go to your guys' phones too.
It's
You're sitting right here.
It's unbelievable.
How does it know?
Unbelievable.
That's fucking crazy. That's like really fucking nuts. But yeah, people have just
What's
figured
the
it
cloud?
out.
That's even crazier. Just stored up there. I mean, I know the switches is on a physical thing. Now we're talking cloud saving.
I know, man.
Fucked.
Oof.
That makes me think that aliens did come here and just like they infused a lot of technology and they're like, you're welcome. 1985.
Oh, how nice. How gracious.
Just, there you go.
Yeah, whenever the big boom
We
happened.
made a frickin' switch at some point, man. We just started flying at 1 billion miles an hour.
I mean, literally the reason that I have the job that I have didn't exist like 40 years ago. That we all have. The internet.
10.
If the internet never happens, it's just like
10 years ago.
Like podcasting and YouTube and all that 10,
Yeah.
15 years ago weren't like careers. That's like our entire career.
It's just, yeah. I mean, I get that once you have a base technology, you just learn to like increase it and make it better because that's all you really needed to start. And then innovations keep happening. Same thing. I mean, you could take that in the most simplest thing, the circle would like turn, a wheel.
Yeah.
Turn into a freaking spaceship at some point, right? Like just moving. Transportation just turned into a rocket ship. Like, I get that you need the first thing, but like, man, it just, when you're talking about 1 billion data points inside a little flash drive, a whole wall of them just on and off switches, it's fucking nuts to me.
It also requires an enormous like societal commitment to get to that point.
Yeah.
Because like if
Yeah.
everyone on a day-to-day basis is just trying to survive, which is what it begins with, literally just trying to survive. You're trying not to get eaten by like fucking tigers and shit if you're in India
Yeah.
when you're like back in the day, and then you're just trying to like fish and get food and then get clean water that's not like going to kill you. You're just doing that. You have to then like for hundreds of years build up that society to the point where you're like doing agriculture, and then someone is able to have freedom in that time of like that 10-year period to be like, I'm going to come up with a fucking wheel. And they're like, no, you need to like hunt something.
Right.
They can't have you just working on a wheel, but you got to build a society. It allows
Right.
that person to like work on a wheel. They come up with a wheel, like a wagon. They're like, dude, we're going to put 2 wheels on it
You almost
and
needed
hook it up to a
the
horse.
first innovation was having a curious person, like
Right.
someone, maybe they took mushrooms or something by accident,
They
and
definitely were. That's
and the
big
leisure
Moses
of
thing.
free time.
or a convincing person. I guess maybe was was the thing I was looking for. Like someone to convince the rest of the people. I need the time to come up with this idea because this will be better, and being so convincing that they allow you to do that
Yeah.
as opposed to killing you.
Right. Being like, dude, you're not contributing to like
You're
us
dead.
trying to do this whole thing. We're going to let you be like Leonardo da Vinci. You're just going to like make sculptures and inventions and shit. It's wild.
It really is wild.
And here we are.
It really is. You guys don't think it's wild? Definitely.
Brendan and Ryan Richard think it's wild. Here's my holiday pattern. Tell myself I'll be thoughtful, panic at the last minute, buy a gift card. You guys ever done that before?
My whole life, man.
As
My
you're
whole damn life.
As you're listening to this, it's December 9th. You have time right now to get a gift. And you know whatever we're about to say right now is going to be just hitting you like a ton of bricks, because you're going to wait until the very last second, and then you're going to give some freaking stupid gift to the people that mean the most to you. And that is not what you should do. You should be thoughtful. You should be precise, and you should give something that's going to make everyone be happy. And that is
Aura frame.
Aura frames.
Yep.
Aura frames. Keep adding from anywhere, anytime. You can preload photos before it ships, gift box included. So every frame comes packaged in a premium gift box with no price tag. You just download the Aura app, connect to Wi-Fi, unlimited free photos and video. You can't wrap togetherness, but you can frame it, gentlemen.
I have this. I have the Aura frame. My parents, we got them an Aura frame. Our in-laws, we got them an Aura frame. Unbelievable how good this is. I'm telling you right now, if you're in that boat that I just laid out before, saying like you don't know what to get the loved ones in your life, you don't know what kind of gift to get them, this is it. This is the one. I'm telling you guys, you can preload all your photos on there. They're going to open this up. They're not going to believe how thoughtful this is. All photos of your kids, their grandchildren, whoever you want to put on there. It's automatically the best gift they got all year.
For a limited time, save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver Matte Frames, named #1 by Wirecutter, by using promo code FOREPLAY at checkout.
Use it.
That is auraframes.com. Promo code is one word, FOREPLAY, FOREPLAY. This deal is exclusive to listeners, and frames sell out fast. So order yours now to get it in time for the holidays. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply.
Also, can we add, if you do get this, to just include a photo of Riggs, Trent, and myself on there when you preload it?
Ooh.
And
that'd be great.
and maybe take a photo of that and send it to us, because I think that'd be very funny and awesome if we're just in everyone's grandparents and parents' house on their frames.
That'd be really
Just
nice,
a photo
man.
of Trent Ryan like breaking 90 or something.
Mhm.
I would love that.
You know,
Great little touch.
it is a great touch.
I'm into that. I like that. Please do that. The holiday season is packed. There's football to watch, relatives to visit, and presents that you need to buy last minute. Fortunately, SportClips Haircuts is the perfect holiday timeout. Just when you thought the MVP experience couldn't get any more relaxing, the Playmaker Scents are back. Gentlemen, for a limited time, choose one of 3 all-new seasonal scents for your hot steam towel and take your relaxation to the next level with SportClips.
Yeah, I'm a frequent SportClips visitor. I use the app. You go on there. You find a location that's near you. They got them all over the place. You can see what the wait time is. You can hop in line. You can arrive as soon as your time is up. You get in a chair. You get the MVP treatment. You get a haircut. You watch some sports. You get a scented towel on you, and you're good to go. I'm a mainstay at these places.
You go on the app and it just shows you the wait time on the map.
It does, yeah.
And it tells you exactly where you got to go and what time's going to be the quickest. So they make it as easy as possible to get your hair cut, and why not just use the best technology available to you when getting your hair cut. The other stuff is all in the Stone Age, showing up, sitting down, waiting for other people to get their hair
For the
cut.
birds.
That's insane.
SportClips, the app, it is huge, man. It saves you a lot of time. It's like they've got the cold mint plunge, which is a burst of chilled mint mixed with cool winter air. Tailgate huddle, the warmth of embers and spice smells like victory. They've got halftime chill, a refreshing blast of crisp, clean confidence. It's relaxation. It is relaxation bottled. It's like if Santa had a favorite cologne. Try one of the Holiday Playmaker Scents, available until December 27th. At participating locations only and where permitted by law. SportClips, it's a game changer. You know, that was wild. Brooks Koepka might not be going back to LIV next year.
Saw that.
See that?
Oh, I did not see that.
CEO Scott O'Neill gave an interview, and he said, I know you're not going to want to hear this one, just the individual players. This goes back to our policy. We're just going to run it through. We haven't made any announcements on players, but he is signed for 2026. So a lot of the articles coming out are saying that Brooks Koepka is contractually signed through 2026. but that no one is definitively saying that he's going to play or not play.
I mean, that sort of makes in the golf world that makes you a man without a country. Like
It makes you Notre Dame a little bit.
Well, it's like you can't,
Might get left out.
as it stands right now, there's no precedent for it. There hasn't been yet. But somebody who is, signed a LIV contract was, indefinitely banned, I think it was the wording, by the PGA Tour at some point. So now if you are no longer under a LIV contract, can you just come back onto the PGA Tour?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I know that as of a few years ago, it felt like there were very firm statements of people banned from playing on PGA Tour events if they were PGA Tour members left and went to LIV. I feel like at this point, if Brooks Koepka wanted to come back to the tour, they would let him. Brian Rolapp would let him.
I mean, that was a big sticking point with Rory at one point where he was, was that more of a merger talk or was that post-LIV talk where he was like, so these guys just get to go make all this money and then just come back onto the tour? And now that discussion isn't as heated as it was, like you're saying.
It's not, but I still have to imagine that those feelings for a handful of guys at minimum have not changed. Like if you are a Justin Thomas, you're a Rory McIlroy, those two guys definitely gave up, sacrificed, did not take something in the figure of $100+ million. And then, 3 years later, the guy that did is just in the exact same position that you're in. Playing the same tournament.
You also don't need Brooks Koepka.
No.
There was a time where that conversation started to ramp up because it felt like LIV's momentum was gaining speed, and that at some point they were going to need to do some sort of merger or collaboration, and that would piss off the PGA Tour members because it's like these guys left, made a bunch of money, and now you're saying we need them back. Now, I mean, you look at a guy like Brooks Koepka or even Jon Rahm or whatever, and if you're Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, Justin Thomas, any of these guys on the PGA Tour, you're looking at the numbers, you're looking at the value of what this tour is doing right now. You're not saying that we need you. You're not begging them to come back.
So from that position, I would, if I were them, or if I were just me in that position, I'd let them come back. It does nothing but add to the tour.
Yeah.
I'm actually seeing on one of these tweets right now that went kind of viral. This is from Jake Knapp's lifting coach, which is I think a parody account. It says talk birdie to me. If I'm the PGA Tour, I contact Brooks Koepka, see if he's being serious about playing LIV this year or not. If he is, waive the 1-year suspension, give him his tour card, and let him play this year. It would be a death blow to LIV. I don't know if that's fully true. We can talk about that. If any tour members want to complain, tell them if they win 5 majors, they can get the same treatment.
There you go.
It would be an interesting strategic move, and Rolapp might be on board with this if, taking over, making big changes. Just start letting guys come back to the tour. Do guys from LIV start dropping out and being like, not dropping out, but fulfilling their contracts, and then just being like, I'm going to go back to the tour. They're letting people back.
I wonder if the Rorys and the JTs and the Cantlays would bicker about that.
They might, but
that's
I think
the death of LIV then.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So then I think if you pitch that to Rory and Justin where you say, all right, this thing has cooled down. I get that those guys made a bunch of money. That was just sort of the environment of golf at that time. But now, if you start letting these guys come back, it completely deflates LIV.
Yeah, I mean, it would. I'd be curious what they're, contractually, like it said, that like Brooks is signed through 2026. That's what the CEO said. So I would wonder if like right when their season ends, let's call it August, when that last event on LIV is, if they said like you guys have 1 week to make the call for Jon Rahm, Brooks Koepka, Cam Smith to come back, like would they all just like leave and come back? So that way they could get their LIV money, not violate the contract, and come back to the tour. Then I think that would end LIV.
I think anyone that has that opportunity would be insane not to go back to the PGA Tour.
I agree.
Insane. Especially with where the PGA Tour is, all the elevated events, the amount of money you can make.
Crazy at the PGA Tour through all this has all the leverage again.
I know.
It really does.
And you know what they did? They just waited.
Yep.
It was a time thing. We were like, at the time, everyone's like, no, make this move, make this offer, the PIP, the this, the that. And it's like, they're just like, we're just going to wait.
Also, their players just played really well.
Yep.
Scotty Scheffler put the frickin' PGA Tour on his back and became a complete megastar.
Right. In the documentary,
everyone wanted to watch every tournament he played in.
And they got like $1 billion capital infusion.
And they got in capital infusion. And Rory McIlroy won the frickin' Grand Slam and is on the PGA Tour. Like, just like every guy you can think of. Bryson should have moved the needle more for LIV. He's the only guy that like stuns me.
It's kind of crazy because there was that stretch where 2 years ago, Brooks Koepka won the PGA as a LIV guy, and then like Bryson won the U.S. Open at Pinehurst as a LIV guy. And you're thinking like they're taking players. They had taken Jon Rahm in between those two major wins, and you're thinking like
Cam Smith. They took him right after he won.
Yep, they're building this momentum, and like it just the waiting game, those things going right, which I think someone would argue like, yeah, no, the tour. They're not this smart. No offense to PGA Tour people. They're not this smart. They didn't know this, but they could argue that, like, yeah, the tour knew that they had these high caliber players. They have this high quality, prestigious league, tour, whatever, with history, where the events matter, the players matter. We're going to build new stars. That's why we have Ludd. That's why we have Colin. That's why we have these guys coming up. That, like, if you give it time, the tour perseveres. And, like, that is not something that was being agreed upon years ago by the public.
And it kind of goes back to what we were talking about with pickleball and TGL and all of that, where, like, in the case of my dad, at least, the golf that he watches is the PGA Tour on TV.
Yep.
It's hard to change that habit. With
me.
Right. So that's like, if you just wait, and again, nobody really saw this coming. We were all talking about what chess move each league needs to make to get the upper hand, and to change the habits of certain demographics in terms of their TV watching and their sports watching is really hard.
Yep. Really hard.
I think that's not all of it. That's not the whole picture, but it's certainly part of it.
100%. I'm going to throw it on, either CBS or NBC. I'm going to throw on CBS. I'm going to watch Jim Nantz welcome me. I'm going to watch Trevor Immelman now. It was Nick Faldo before that, and I'm going to watch Trevor Immelman and Jim Nantz tell me about Scotty Scheffler and Roy McIlroy, and this is what I'm going to do. It's going to be at a venue that I've seen for 50 years, and like I know who won the tournament the last 5 years. I remember these holes. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to watch, and I'm largely in the same boat. And I think that that has kind of persevered stronger and more so than I thought. We saw Brooks Koepka not that long ago.
Yeah, TaylorMade Media.
Yeah, he was out there at TaylorMade in a cart, just driving around, hanging out.
Well, he lives down there, right?
Yeah,
I think
he's a flirting guy.
Guys,
and I think there's a manager crossover there.
Yeah,
somewhere.
Yeah, I think that's.
So I think that's why he was hanging there. No, we're not.
We were with Scotty, and then that's when we saw.
And I think they share a manager. I could be. That sounds like that.
Right. That sounds right.
We're not breaking any news.
No. And I want to say when he did his David Faraday episode, Brooks Koepka, I think he recorded it in that like grassy knoll between the clubhouse and the harbor or yacht club of the Floridian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, he was like right on the water. It was really cool. So he must be a member there, hang out there quite a bit because he just kind of rolled over and was hanging.
It was wild seeing him. Yeah.
Said hi to him. He said hi back.
Interesting history.
Very.
Yeah.
Been a lot of ups, a little bit of downs.
Yeah, the Dave stuff.
Mm-hmm. The Dave stuff.
With the match and the broken wrist. And
That's right.
I mean, we've been doing this for so long. We got history with everybody, I guess.
At this point, it's impossible not to.
If you're one of those big guys, big names.
I saw one thing I enjoyed over the weekend. I don't know if it crossed everybody's desk, but Leo Messi and Inter Miami winning the MLS Cup.
Did they?
Yep.
Wow.
They won the MLS Cup. Messi holding another trophy. I was really laughing going through it. I do like soccer. My nephew and niece are really into soccer, so I've started paying attention more to it. Some of their accounts, like he's grabbed my phone whenever I go home over Thanksgiving and stuff. So then I notice when I pick up my phone after that it's all the algorithm is all soccer shit that gets fed to me. And again, I love soccer. I always played FIFA growing up. It was one of my biggest games that we played nonstop.
So
FIFA. Hard game. And we would just have battles. And there was, God, it must have been FIFA like fucking 2009 or something where you could really set up a league with your buddies like within one console. And it was like me, my brother Kyle, our buddy JR, a couple other guys, and we just would do like a league where like it kept all the stats for goals, for goals against, all that, and it was so unbelievably fun.
Yep.
And like just who was at the top of the table and all that. But point being, soccer's always been on my radar just from FIFA because you knew all the players and stuff, and you knew the entire deal. So I got so into the Messi story at the 2022 World Cup, as everybody did with them winning. And then when he came over, and then the Beckham documentary and him playing for Miami and all that. So I was getting pretty damn into it and watching him win. My favorite is the storyline in the comments from the clips, the highlights from the MLS championship game. and you see like the real soccer hardos going in there being like, I can't believe they consider this a real league, because it's like it's like some guy from Vancouver just like dribbled the ball into Messi, and Messi just took it from him, passed it to another guy who just scored, and they were like, what they say, I can't believe these guys are like glizzing all over Messi. Look at these fucking guys, can't even walk on the other team. Having said that, Messi had 3 assists, and they like won the MLS Cup.
Beast.
Which Miami, I want to say 2.5 years ago, before they brought Messi over, they were like the last place team. And I think Beckham bought Inter Miami for $25 million, and it's valued at like $1.2 billion now.
Wow.
Holy smoke.
Isn't that insane?
Even post Messi, it's going to be valued that? I guess just because of.
I think he's part ownership in it
Okay.
too, Messi is. So like he's not going anywhere
Right.
in terms of like his involvement with it.
Damn, he's got the juice.
The juice, man. The juice. But anyways, that was something I followed. That was cool. And it was sick. Like the crowds were nuts. All the Miami stuff. Like I think the Miami team down in Miami has awesome crowds and stuff. So
I think that's right.
MLS doesn't really cross my. We have a St. Louis City. We have a team now in St. Louis the last couple of years. I think it's pretty popular in St. Louis.
Interesting. I never got into. I always tried to get into soccer. It wasn't for a lack of effort. I thought I was like this. I want to try it. I want to get into it. It's fun. I like watching the games, and it never happened for me.
Did you play as a kid?
A little, yeah. When I was really young.
Soccer is, for whatever reason, in St. Louis, soccer is the sport everyone plays and is so into up until a certain age, and then nobody's into it anymore.
I think it's very similar in Iowa.
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of like in the U.S. overall. It's that age from like 6 or till like 9 or 10, or maybe a little longer. But like everyone is so into it. It's the sport. Everybody can do it. Everybody can play it. You just need like legs, and you can run around and fucking play soccer. And nobody, and then like people just kind of lose interest in it.
Yeah, I think in America, at that age that you're talking about, baseball takes over, basketball takes over, and football takes over.
Yeah,
it's just, those are the sports that people want to play.
Big time.
Because they're the ones that everybody talks about.
Big time.
What's going on
I'm
over
just
here?
diving deep into the numbers. I'm trying to get you guys a top 10 for today.
Oh, wow. We haven't done one in like a week or two.
I got a pretty good one.
You've got some options today.
I've got a pretty good one, yeah. So
you were doing it now?
do you guys mind?
No, I would
love to do it.
National Golf Foundation. I got this data from them.
Okay.
Okay, so this is how you know it's legit. Just to kick this off, what percentage of golf courses in the United States do you think is private?
Oh, now that in itself.
This is just a one question.
I'm actually. Wow.
I'm gonna throw out do you want to throw out our numbers at the same time so I don't influence you, or you don't influence me?
So it's the percentage of golf courses in the country that are private.
That's correct.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, and then say it.
Yeah.
I'll do 3, 2, 1, and then you guys say it.
Okay.
Okay.
And we're throwing a percent out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Out of 100. 3, 2, 1.
18.
Ooh.
27%.
Not bad from you and I, man.
Okay.
Pretty good. It's a pretty high number.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be really low or somewhere where we guessed.
Yeah, I could have seen it being like 4%.
Same.
Like, oh shit.
Okay.
27. That is high.
That's higher than I guessed and more than I would have thought.
All right, so this question is kind of difficult because I think it goes based off of how many golf courses are in the state. The question is highest percentage of private golf by state. So what states have the highest percentage? If there is golf in your state, which states in this United States of America have the highest percentage of those courses that are private?
Okay.
So some states might not be number one, but they have more private golf if it's a bigger state. Does that make sense to you?
Yep.
So I'm looking for the highest percentage, top 10, so 1 through 10.
All right.
We're going to go back and forth.
Sure.
So Trent, you're going to throw me a state, and then we're going to go from there.
I'm going to start us off with New York.
New York is not in the top 10.
Okay.
I was going to go New York too. That's huge.
Oh my goodness.
Because, yeah, I would have thought for sure New York. But it
Percentage, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay. I am going to go. No, okay. I'm going to go Massachusetts.
Massachusetts is 8th. Sorry, 7th.
All right.
Okay,
Good job.
we're on the board.
Good job.
Eighth. I'm
Okay.
reading something that goes sideways, and it's really blowing my brain. It's eighth at 35%. Massachusetts has
Holy shit.
368 private golf clubs.
So,
Wow.
so if we're gonna talk strategy, like, I know we've done this before, but like to me, a smaller state would make sense. Like
Yeah.
if you think about it, California, it's a lot of land.
That's what I'm worried about.
It's a lot of like public golf course. It's probably a lot of private, but again, we're talking percentages.
But then,
So-
then I started thinking though, like I was going to consider Florida, and I think there's so many people that retire down in Florida and join a private club.
That's all right. That maybe that'll be your next one.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Rhode Island.
Rhode Island is on the list.
Yes.
Fifth.
Yes.
So
That-
Rhode
that's-
Island, 40% of the golf in Rhode Island is private. That's 58 golf courses in Rhode Island that are private.
Wow.
40.
See, that's up your alley of what you were saying.
Right, because it's
Think
small.
about that. If
There's a
you
lot
live
of
in Rhode
money in
Island,
that state.
40% of all the golf in Rhode Island is private
That's
clubs.
nuts.
Not daily fee, not municipal, just private.
Okay.
See, there's
All right.
going to be so many golf courses in Florida that makes me a little nervous, but I still think a shit ton of them are private because so many people move down there to play golf and join a club.
Yeah.
Like if you're a if you're a retired person, I think it's very rare that you move down to Florida as a golfer and you're like, oh, I'm just going to play random public courses.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Florida.
Florida is second.
Oh, God.
46% of all golf courses in Florida are private.
Wow.
1,264 private golf clubs.
Wow.
Holy shit.
That's
Yeah.
insane.
For that number of golf
I
courses
know.
and that big of a state, for that to be the number is actually jaw dropping.
That's crazy.
Like, so I'm again going to go with my strategy and say Maine.
That is not on the list.
Okay.
That's surprising. I'm going to go with my strategy again,
Yeah.
which I think has got to be the other version of Florida, which is Arizona.
Arizona's not on the list.
It seems inconsistent, right? But it's the way that it is.
That is
How
right.
about Vermont?
Vermont is not on the list.
So now I'm 1 for 3 in terms of my style of guessing.
I have one that I just feel like from when we tried to book Barstool Classics, like the area around Philadelphia, everyone's always like, there's really like no good public golf anywhere within like 45 minutes of the city. It's all private. And they say similar about like Pittsburgh. There's not much of it. I'm going to say the state of Pennsylvania.
Not on the list.
God damn it.
I'm going to give you guys each one more guess, and then we'll move on.
Minnesota.
Minnesota is not on the list. Minnesota has the most public golf courses.
So I was the most wrong.
Yeah, you were as wrong as you could be.
That's a question for another day. I just gave you the top answer.
Thank you.
Or actually, I think that may have been wrong too, so you'll never know.
Hold on. I got Massachusetts.
This is your
right.
final
Florida right.
final guess
If
here.
he gets it right,
I
I
get
get to go.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
go
you guys-
until we
you
get
guys
2 in a
stay-
wrong.
Yep.
So I
I think
get
that
to
should always
unlock
be
it
it.
here.
Go ahead.
I get to unlock one here.
Yep. But if he gets it wrong, we're done.
Yep.
Okay.
Trent, what do you think about Georgia?
I like it.
A lot of like money.
Yeah.
Georgia.
Fourth on the list.
Okay.
Georgia has 41%
So now
of all
it's
of
a
its
game.
golf courses.
Now it's a game.
41%?
41% at 404 golf courses.
All right, I unlock.
So now it's a
Trent.
game. Now I can unlock you. So,
Unlock me, Trent.
okay. What do you think? What do you think about South Carolina?
Yeah, dude, I kind of do like it, but I think there's a lot of good pub. Yeah.
South Carolina.
Wrong.
Dad,
We're done.
That's okay.
We're done. We got like 4.
So the list from bottom to top,
What's number 1?
35% of all the golf courses in Texas are private. That is number 10.
Wow, I would have never guessed
818 private golf courses in Texas. California is number 9 at 35%. Massachusetts is number 8 at 35%. Maryland is 37%
that. Ah,
at
it's a
number
good
7.
one, man.
Number 6, Virginia, 38%. Number 5, sorry. Did I do this wrong? 10.
I have such a
9,
blind spot
8,
for that part of the
7.
country. Maryland and like Virginia, that like George Washington part of the
DMV.
country.
6 is Virginia.
DMV.
Am I doing that? Am I actually like mentally like here right now? 1, 10.
Were we right about every guess,
8,
actually?
7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Oh, this gave me 11. Oh, maybe because there was a tie at the bottom.
Okay.
That's really throwing me off here.
Gotcha.
So Texas 35%, California 35%, Massachusetts 35%, and then we got Maryland at 37%. We've got Virginia at 38%. We've got Mississippi at 39%. We've got Rhode Island at 40%. We've got Georgia at 41%. At 43%, Connecticut.
Whoa.
191 private golf courses are private. And then at number 2, Florida, 46%. Again, 1,264 private golf clubs. And number 1, the most private golf course state in all of the land, New Jersey.
New Jersey.
48% of all golf courses in New Jersey are private. 311 private golf courses. Really not that big of a state. And the fact that almost half of every golf course that resides inside New Jersey is private is nuts.
Wow.
Sort of like the same philosophy I was thinking with Pennsylvania for whatever
Yeah.
reason. I was thinking with New Jersey too.
Right.
I
Connecticut could fit that. in
Yeah,
that bill as
Connecticut
well.
is a great call. I should have known that one.
Great job, fellas.
All right.
And lived in Connecticut.
There's your list.
Idiot.
Dang.
Absolute idiot. God.
Texas is a surprising one.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
we
would have
have
never thought Texas, man.
No.
I thought there's so much land out there that like you just
I
build
know.
munis and public tracks
Texas
all over the place.
Texas and Mississippi were the two surprising ones for me there. Well, a lot of them were surprising because I only guessed like one of them right. But
Yeah.
my logic with the smaller, less land, more money, whatever. That was fun though.
Jackpots are the talk of the town right now. Powerball, Mega Millions, everyone's watching those numbers climb. That's why we've partnered with JackPocket, America's #1 lottery app. They will alert you to upcoming drawings and always keep you part of the buzz. You can order official state lottery tickets right from your phone and get a photo of your real tickets in the app. 73 people have become millionaires using JackPocket. 73
Yeah, I have
people.
the app. I've used this many times, actually. When the Powerball is reaching these ridiculous numbers, you want to be involved, the Mega Millions, all of that, and you can't make your way to a gas station or like a convenience store or something, this couldn't be easier and more legit. I've bought every single time I've wanted to buy a Powerball ticket I've gotten on JackPocket. It goes right to your phone, and like it says in the read, like it legitimately shows you a photo of a real ticket, like somewhere somehow.
Because you got to have
purchasing
the
a real
ticket's
ticket.
nice thing to see.
There's a real ticket, so you know that it's legit. You know that that's yours, and I mean, it's just the convenience of it, and you got to be in it to win it. That's like at the end of the day, you can't always keep
Gotta
saying
be
like,
in it.
I wish like, oh, if I won the lottery one day, I'd like be able to do this. Like, are you playing? Like, someone's winning, so you got to be in it to win it. So I always get in the mix with JackPocket.
The new JackPocket customers, so if you're out there, you're new, you haven't done this before, new JackPocket customers get $5 in free lottery credits. You opt in, use the code GOLF2. Okay, that's one word, GOLF2. GOLF2 for free credits only on JackPocket. Make sure you opt in, use the code GOLF2. One touchdown can change everything, the crowd, the momentum, the game itself. It never gets old. Feel that same rush with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, where every touchdown could bring you closer to cashing in. With DraftKings Sportsbook, all the action's in your hands. First touchdown, anytime TD, live bets, every play, every snap, every game matters.
If you're not betting on football this time of year, I don't know what you're doing.
I hit my Barstool Game of the Week hit this week.
That's right, you did.
Yeah, it was plus
Congratulations.
385, so I'm going to get a couple slices on that spin on the
nice.
yak.
Very nice.
But yeah, that game was great. Shout out to Ryan Richardson, the Packers versus the Bears. Fantastic football game.
I was on the other side of that, which is the beauty of DraftKings Sportsbook.
Yeah, no, it's fun. I actually had this bet that I was really riding 3 games in a row. Matthew Schaefer, Matthew Barzell, and Bo Horvat, 2 shots each parlay. Went 0 for 1, 0 for 2, and I'm like, you know what? Tonight's the night we're going to do it, and they freaking hit it. And it's just a great feeling to stick with it, get that hit in. And it was actually the best odds yet because they had gone 0 for 2 the nights before. So we got right back, and we're on the roll. I just love it, man. Just it's time to be on DraftKings. Football, You got hockey, basketball, everything's going right now.
Missouri listeners, listen up. DraftKings Sportsbook is now live in my home state, God's country, the beautiful Show Me State. Here's the best part. New customers bet $5, and if your bet wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets instantly. So welcome to the fun, Missouri. When your team hits the end zone, you could hit the payout. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code FORE, F-O-R-E. That is code FORE. Bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Not our best performance on the top 10, probably.
No. We don't have that many, honestly. We did okay on a couple of them, but there's a couple where we just don't know.
People enjoyed the way you guys went through the Tiger Woods wins throughout the years.
I mean, Riggs was an ace on that.
That was awesome.
It's one of the few things we know,
Yeah.
which is nice. We pay attention to Tiger Woods.
Right. I mean, you specifically know a lot about those.
Yeah, what's the
wins.
term they're using now? Ball knower?
Ball knower.
When
You're a
it
ball
comes to-
knower.
You're a Tiger knower.
That's what the kids are saying.
That's
And when
right.
it comes to Tiger Woods. Speaking of Tiger Woods, I thought he looked great all weekend long.
Yeah.
Out at
he
the
did.
Hero World Challenge. I turned on the Hero World Challenge a little bit on Saturday. I enjoyed watching that event. I thought Scotty Scheffler was going to run away with it, but Hideki Matsuyama ended up getting the W. How about Alex Noren? I thought you were going to sneeze there.
Okay.
That was a yawn. Unfortunately, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I didn't mean to bring the show to a halt.
No, we're 3 hours behind you guys timing-wise from a time zone situation, so I imagine.
We talked about it yesterday. It was very strange waking up in New York and then being like, I woke up at 6 a.m. in New York, and then it was like,
We had a 1:10 tea time in
we had
California.
a 1 tea time in California, and as soon as your eyes open and your head comes off the pillow, you just know that that's happening,
Dude,
and
when
it
you have a-
doesn't feel possible.
When you have a
hell of a
1
day,
p.m.
man.
tea time on a weekend and you wake up at like 8 o'clock, or like you're up at 8 o'clock, you're getting breakfast, you're like, oh, I'm playing golf like in a few hours. Like I'm playing golf now. Like I have to like get ready. I'm gonna get breakfast. I'm gonna go to the golf course at like 11, hit balls. We took off in an aluminum tin around 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And then we teed off at 1:12 local time. So like to us, that first tee box was another world.
I really felt like I was on a different
We
planet.
landed and went straight to the golf course, got changed in the parking lot, and then hit the first tee. No driving range.
No range, no
nothing.
nothing. Just bizarre.
It
How'd
was
the first
bizarre.
2 shots go? Huh?
Really well.
Fine,
All right.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, boys. No, that's wild. But yeah, I could see you being tired at this point.
Yeah.
But anyways, Hero World Challenge. Alex Noren has 0 PGA Tour wins. I thought that was shocking.
Stunning. That is stunning. I feel like he had a run there a few years ago now where it was like Alex Noren is going to win an event.
Yeah,
It's only a matter of time, and then he just didn't.
I thought that was very, very surprising to hear that, but he made a sick putt on the 72nd hole to get into a playoff, and then Hideki hit it tight and ended up winning the Hero World Challenge. But, you know, I know we talked about tour golf and whatnot earlier. It was nice to watch Scotty. It's nice to watch kind of a lot of the big dogs out there playing. I was watching JJ Spawn for a while. I was ripping it up, just piping it around that place. But Tiger Woods, you know, Tiger's like chatty and just wearing red. He's on the range, chopping it up with Scotty, wearing his Sunday red stuff on Sunday. I just kind of enjoyed the hell out of seeing Mr. Woods walk around there. I really did.
We always love seeing him. Yeah, that black and red shirt.
Mhm.
That thing was. I think he was ready to wear that shirt.
Kind of a menacing shirt. I saw a question pop up on social that was like, how many majors would Tiger Woods have won if he never got injured?
At least 25.
Yeah, I mean, he won 15. He had a stretch from 2008 until 2019 winning 0 majors. And that was from age like
32.
32, 33 to 44. Is that
And how
right?
old was Phil when he won his first one?
33, maybe 34
Right.
when he won his first major.
Right. And he ended up with
He's got
5, 6.
6.
Was Kiowa 6?
I think it was 6. He's got the Masters 3 times,
Yeah.
and then he's got a PGA, 2 PGAs, 5, and then he's got the Open Championship 6.
Yeah. So
0 U.S. Opens, finished second 6 times.
I've heard that.
6 times.
And yeah, so Tiger at the end, yeah. I mean, Tiger would have won so many.
I'm trying to find the list. I was going to try and do 2 top 10s. But like what's the list of guys with most PGA Tour events played now that Tommy Fleetwood has got his win and no wins? Like what's the new current list
Who's
of
the king?
most, but like what's the 1 through 10 of most events played with 0 wins?
I would be most curious about who is just next in line.
I
after
don't have
Tommy.
that data. You know who I think it might be?
Who?
Cameron Young.
of active. Did Cam Young win? I think he just won.
Did he just win?
I think he won like the Wyndham Championship.
Oh, right before the Ryder Cup?
Yep, right before.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
that's
was like
right.
his
He
first
did.
win. Yep.
He's off the list.
I
But up
remember
to
him
that-
being up there.
Up to that point, he was up there of like, I don't know, like starts because it'd be up to older guy. Let me ask you a question. Is there like a crazy world where Colin like Montgomery never won a PGA Tour event?
Fuck.
Or was it just majors? Was his thing the majors? There was something that he just could never win.
I think it was majors. That's a career I don't have a full picture of in my brain.
You looked that up, Ryan Richardson. Did Colin Montgomery like not win a PGA Tour event or not
I'm
win
not
on
seeing him
American
come
soil
up.
or something like that?
So the question is, most PGA Tour starts without a win.
Wow.
Current players,
Yes.
and that was, I mean, as
Now,
everybody.
you have to send it to me because I've done some Googling trying to find it while these guys were talking, so I've seen some names. Uh-oh.
As everybody knows, it was Tommy Fleetwood for
Oh, I think I'm seeing what you're seeing. but
to
we don't
much
know.
fanfare up
But
until
it's not gonna
recently.
be
Much
listed.
fanfare.
Up
It's not
until
going to
the
be
Tour
listed of like
Championship.
the amount of. Yeah, no, this might not be a good list.
But do you have the name of the guy who has
No, it's-
dethroned
yeah,
Tommy
well,
Fleetwood? Or Tommy Fleetwood dethroned himself?
There's like a 56-year-old guy that has played over 400 PGA Tour events without.
That's what I was
ever
gonna say.
winning.
Cam Young wasn't like old enough to rack up events.
Yeah, I've got this too.
I got some Colin Montgomery stats for you guys.
I want to
Give
hear
them
him.
to
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Dude, Colin Montgomery, as of I'm looking at this, he is 4th all time on European Tour wins with 31. Guess how many PGA Tour wins he's got?
I mean,
2?
0.
he's never won a PGA Tour event.
And 0 majors.
Wow,
God.
huge name.
Massive.
That's insanity.
Yeah.
4th all time with 31. He's finished 2nd in the PGA Championship. He finished 2nd or tied for 2nd 3 times in the U.S. Open, and he finished 2nd in the Open Championship in 2005. And if you go back and look at that 2006 U.S. Open when Jeff Ogilvy won, he was like in the middle of the fairway and like basically like chunk blocked one right, short right on the 18th hole at Winged Foot and made, I think, bogey to lose the U.S. Open. I can't believe he's I thought it was either 0 majors or 0 tour events. I didn't know it's fucking
both,
both.
dude.
Is that right? That's insane.
We had Colin Montgomery in the old New York City office. You remember that?
He was awesome.
He brought his whiskey in.
Yeah, whatever that was. It was like the official whiskey of the Open Championship.
Loch
Lomond?
Something like that.
He was the man.
He was a really nice guy.
Yeah, made me think of him was he was like he was playing in the PGA Tour Champions like Ryder Cup this last weekend. I saw kind of came across my desk and he was giving an interview and I was like, this guy's incredible in the interview.
He's a big personality.
Yeah, I like Colin Montgomery.
What do you got cooking over here? Anything?
This is like when ChatGPT that kind of stinks. Like it doesn't really give you answers. This is, we talk about technology. Like they should just be able to go in and find this.
It's not enough for you.
Well, it's just they're like selling me something that it's not. I have names, but I can't get a list.
That's
Yeah.
annoying.
So this isn't going to be a list, but we're going to just rattle off some names of guys that are frequently cited as top players without PGA Tour wins.
Let's hear it.
Denny McCarthy.
Okay. I believe that.
He has the highest career earnings among PGA Tour players with 0 wins.
It would have taken me a long time to get to that name.
Yeah. Alex Noren.
We just talked about
Bo Hostler. Mark Hubbard.
Bo
Hubert.
Hostler's up there?
Hubbard.
The Bo Show. I saw
it.
him
He's
this
a young
weekend.
guy.
Christian Bezuidenhout. That's really it, right? Like that's
Danny McCarthy was the perfect name for that. That's
Denny
just,
McCarthy.
That might be him.
widely described as the top candidate for most PGA Tour starts and earnings without a win.
Denny McCarthy is?
Denny McCarthy.
Wow. This Montgomery Winged Foot was even worse than I thought.
But is Denny McCarthy in the same? Like Denny McCarthy's not Tommy Fleetwood. And
Well, that's why the Tommy Fleetwood thing was so
he's
crazy.
not Cameron Young, where it's like you can't believe this guy hasn't won. Like, I haven't thought about
Yeah.
Denny McCarthy in a long time. We were seeing Tommy Fleetwood finish top 5, but I mean, according to the stat, he's won the most money, so he is finishing top 10s, top 5s. Denny McCarthy.
Danny McCarthy. What was the Colin Montgomery Wingfoot thing?
Dude, he switched from a 6-iron to a 7-iron on the 18th hole while waiting to hit, assuming adrenaline would kick in. Hit it poorly, missed short right in the thick rough, chipped onto the green, and then 3-putted for double to lose the tournament by 1 stroke.
Oh.
Everybody always remembers Phil there, obviously making
Right.
a double on the last, but that was brutal. Jim Furyk choked on that hole. God damn.
Denny McCarthy has played 212 events. He has 0 wins. He's finished runner-up twice, third place once, 9 top 5 finishes, and 29 top 10s. He joined the PGA Tour in 2018, and he's made $21 million.
I was going to say, having the title of the guy who's won the most money without winning an event is a pretty good title.
21 mil, 29 top 10s. I mean, at some point, when he starts to get to 40 of those, I mean, that's
sort of
where
what
Tommy
That's where
was at.
Fleetwood was, yeah.
2 runner-ups, like that's just bad luck. 9 top 5s. Top 5s is 1 missed putt.
Yeah, you are right.
Right.
You have to have a certain level of cachet and that you're playing well enough to be relevant like with the amount of events you've played. Denny McCarthy just doesn't fit that mold of like he's there every single week. And we see him and then he doesn't win, and we see him and he doesn't win. That was Tommy Fleetwood for like 2 years.
What a lucrative thing to be, though, for Denny McCarthy.
Kind of amazing.
Canadian guy? No, he's not.
Denny
Canadian. He's
McCarthy?
American. What is he?
DMV?
DMV guy.
You're largely anonymous. I mean, Denny McCarthy, I know that name, but he's not,
Anonymous and rich. That's what you want to be.
anonymous and rich.
Mm-hmm.
The story of Denny McCarthy.
That's awesome, dude.
Pretty good life.
I guess I'll give Colin. I'm still on the Colin Montgomery thing. I guess I'll give him a little bit of a pass, dude. I think he was in an era where like he played on the European tour. He didn't like play on the PGA tour. Like don't get me wrong. He played tour events and stuff, but like I think he lived over in the UK and played the DP World Tour, European Tour, like almost exclusively.
That makes sense.
So I don't think he really played. Like he wasn't playing in fucking the Honda Classic.
Yeah.
And shit like that.
You said he was 4th all time in European.
31 wins.
Is Rory at the top of that list?
He's got to be, because I think a lot of his majors and shit and like a couple other events count. As European
when you said
Tour
4th,
events.
I was trying to think what that list looks like.
Sergio Garcia, maybe.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Like Lee Westwood might be up there. Chevy.
I would just be very curious if Rory's at the top of that list, and I think that he is.
This is another good list. Let me pull this up.
This is a list show.
We're doing a lot of lists.
Denny McCarthy finished T8 in the PGA Championship and then T7 in the U.S. Open. That's his 2 top.
What years were those?
2025 and 2022. He's like been in the mix.
Okay, maybe I'm not giving Denny McCarthy enough credit.
Rory didn't get enough love on this list. Okay, you ready for the European Tour? Most wins in the European Tour history.
Okay.
Number 1 with 50 wins. Seve Ballesteros.
Wow. 50.
50 is a shit ton. Number 2 is one we would never get, but makes a lot of sense. Bernhard Longer. 42 wins.
This guy. I was ready to call him a piece of shit. Every time I hear a stat, but I don't want to. I said I was ready to. I mean, this guy has just dominated golf. He really has.
He's a machine.
He's a villain.
He is a villain. Number 3.
42. And then how many senior tour wins does he have?
800.
This guy's racked. Does he have the most wins across all tours?
Well, it's also
you know who I think does is our friend Gary Player.
Gary Player's the
I think
most
he's got
wins.
like hundreds of like global.
We got in a conversation today, being where we are, about golf in Germany, and you think who are the biggest German golfers? Because what happens a lot is like someone comes from somewhere and they set the precedent that golf or whatever sport that they play becomes a bigger deal back home.
Yeah.
And
like Seve did that with Spanish golf.
It's a perfect example.
Yeah.
But like for
why
Germany,
am I picturing why am I picturing the German golfer and I can see
Martin Keimer?
Keimer.
It's Longer and it's Keimer.
Yep. And
that's
then
really it.
Alex Noren isn't a German, is he?
No, he's Swedish.
Okay.
I think he's Swedish. And then what's our boy who we had on the show, our first LIV golfer, is Belgian. Thomas Peters.
Thomas Peters.
Who is like a man without a family or whatever.
Yeah,
Remember, he was like, I'm just lonely.
I think he has a family. He didn't have.
He said he didn't have any friends.
He didn't have a ton of friends on the PGA Tour, and it sort of.
I like Thomas Peters.
He was a really nice guy.
He was great.
And he said that kind of drove him. He was like, I'm going to go to LIV.
Guess who's 3rd all time on the European Tour wins list with 41?
So 3rd all time.
It's got to be someone more current. It's got to be stunning. It's got to be a stunning number.
Big name.
Is it Rory McIlroy?
Not Rory.
41's insane.
This is making me mad.
And it is the only player in the top 24 that is only player in the top 24 that is American.
Wow.
Oh,
American.
Tiger Woods.
Tiger
Yeah.
Woods?
41
Oh,
European
this
Tour
guy,
wins.
this guy Tiger Woods. There's something
When
wrong
did he
with
play
him.
these things?
Well, you got to factor in the majors all count as European Tour events.
Okay.
So that's 15. Plus, then, yeah, he had to come up with.
Wait a minute. What?
Yeah, like majors count as PGA, right? They count as your PGA Tour win and European Tour wins. They count towards your, like,
Oh, really?
total.
That, like, my on and off switches of my own memory
was
there.
what?
I said, okay.
How many Open Championships did he win?
So he won 41 Opens. Jesus. This guy's sick. So that counts. But and then
I thought like maybe like the European Tour like owns majors for a quick second in the back
you're
of my
like,
mind.
that's
Oh,
bullshit.
Like,
The
what?
other thing,
even
Yeah.
Augusta.
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, what?
the other thing is, I believe the WGCs they did forever. That Tiger won those all the time, which were like elevated events before elevated events existed. He won a ton of WGCs, and I think those counted. But then he still had to have won like a bunch of just random European Tour events. I don't even know who he was playing in these.
There
things.
just had to be a time where he was like, I'm going to win everywhere, wherever I can play, so I'm just going to go. Another list that I know is pretty crazy is the WGC one, where it's like him, and then he's got so many, and then DJ has like 2.
I know. Rory's 12th all time with 20.
20.
I sounded real dumb.
Oh, I
15
thought
minutes
that. I
ago.
thought he was going to be way higher. Nick Faldo's got 30. Ian Woosnam has 29. Ernie Els 28. Lee Westwood 25. Jose Maria Olazabal 23.
Olazabal.
The Mechanic has 21.
Good for him.
Jimenez.
For him is right.
Yeah, I love that guy. Love that guy.
Frankie dropped his phone.
No more
Yeah.
data.
This has been a
data-driven show.
data-heavy show.
Data-driven.
Phil Mickelson is the next American on the list, tied for 26 with 11 European Tour wins. There ain't any more Americans on this fucking list. DJ 9. Jack Nicklaus 9.
1, 2, 3.
We count bowl games. Shout out to the Pope,
Oh,
Pope.
God.
Sports Pope.
Shout out to the college football playoff. I know that always gets people going. People love talking about power conferences and BCS.
That made me think, I put that on my list, the whole Notre Dame thing. That made me think that golf needs a subjective, like, big event, which the closest we get is the Ryder Cup with
I was
captain's
going to
picks.
say that's for sure it.
It's the closest we get with captain's picks. But, like, imagine if there was, like, a major where it was, like, they're going to have a committee that picks the best 16 players are going to play, like, Sweet 16 style elimination match play.
Is that the
tournament.
Masters because it's invitational or no?
But it's like, yeah, but unfortunately, it's not enough subjective.
Right.
Like you get the occasional where like they didn't invite this person, but they have all these criteria of like
Yeah.
top 50 at the cutoff. You know, that's like kind of automatic.
Right.
But yeah, that's what I was
No, I
kind
know
of
what you
thinking
mean.
of, where like you leave somebody off, like you know.
Right.
Yeah, it is captain's picks. Because what you're
captain's
seeing,
picks.
and is what you're getting to, is that subjectivity leads to just the most debate you've ever seen.
Years of debate.
And debate is just like eyeballs, and it's discussion, and it makes everything. It's like that's the college football thing. It's almost like they designed it that way. To like people want an answer like that. Like we all watch the NFL, we all watch baseball. Like those are just it's based in numbers, and it's if you win the most, you win your division, you get a playoff spot, etc.
Yep.
With college football, they're just like, no, we're just gonna. It's all so spread out and not random, but they're just like, we're gonna pick, and you guys got to deal with the fallout.
The thing that kills me about the college football thing is that, like, dude, for most of our lives, the subjectivity picked 2 teams. 2.
Yeah,
And they played in one game.
Yep.
And then everyone freaked out and was like, that's simply, like, not enough. And, like, now we're talking, like, the Notre Dame people that everybody thinks if they got screwed and, like, might have a case, might not, whatever. But the point being that, like, you're freaking out that they weren't considered, like, the 12th team.
right.
You're like, no,
Right.
dude, they would have missed by
everything.
miles.
I
Like,
know.
what do you mean?
and then the answer to some people is like expansion of 16, and then the 17th team is gonna be fucking pissed.
Correct. And now we're at the point where you're like, dude, if you're ranked number 17th or 16th, you're not winning the national title.
No.
So what are we doing?
I know.
Who cares? And it's like, I would make that same argument in this case of like, no, like you're out. You would have been so far out for the whole history of this operation.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Now you're going to like refuse a bowl game and all that. It's crazy.
It's a good point.
Is that what they ended up doing? They refused the bowl game?
Notre Dame is not playing in the bowl game. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
They took their ball and went home.
They literally
Took their ball and went home.
But yeah, golf has nothing like that. No, and college football has a monopoly on that idea and that debate and that discussion.
Yeah, it's genius, dude. We need more debating. That's what LIV gave us. LIV gave us like 3 years of debating.
Oh, LIV for this podcast was just like fodder
Dude,
for
in the
a
Ryder
long
Cup.
time.
Like the Ryder Cup gives us like captain's picks, pairings, who you sit,
Course
who you
setup.
don't sit, course setup. It gives us all these things to like debate about. And that's why it turned, I mean, there's the nationalism and patriotism and all that. But like it gives us shit to debate where it's like week in and week out on golf, there's really nothing to like debate. It's sort of
It's
just
just like the numbers.
right. It's like they play 72 holes. Like whoever played best is gonna win.
The numbers bear it out.
It's like maybe you debate if somebody should have gone for it or not, or something.
Did you guys see that fucking, speaking of debate, did you guys see the Raiders last night? Pete Carroll, that backdoor cover. This needs to be debated until he gets put in jail.
I didn't see it. I saw some like
Who'd
headlines.
they play again? Was it the Cardinals?
I didn't see what happened either. I saw
Broncos.
everybody was freaking out about it. Didn't Dave lose a bunch of money on it, or was that a different one?
Broncos had a 10-point lead. Do I have this correct? And the Raiders had 27 seconds left, down 10. The spread is 8,
Okay.
or maybe 8.5. The Raiders throw the ball to like the 25-yard line, and they have no timeouts left. They catch the ball inbounds. The game's over. You're down 10, right? There's 20-something seconds left. You just completed a ball inbounds. You now have to run, spike the ball, kick the field. The refs call delay of game on the defensive player for sitting on top of the guy with the ball, which has never been called like ever, right? So because he wasn't letting the guy get up and go spike the ball, they end up calling a flag on it, and then they kicked a field goal with 0 seconds left, right? Was there 0 seconds left on the clock? Or maybe like 3 seconds? Pete Carroll kicked a field goal to lose by 7, and they covered
What?
7.5.
Oh.
So that's where things need to start getting talked about, because
Well,
why would you kick that field goal? You have by the time that ball goes through those field goal posts, you have 0 chance to win statistically, and all things real, rational thinking brain.
Yes.
You cannot win the football game.
drink.
You cannot win the football
hits.
game. You
It
can't.
It hits. The over just hit for
You
the
can't.
the 0.5
It did.
rational thinking brain over just hit.
You can't win.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. This whole thing, that conversation is starting in sports. The conversation that you are alluding to has started in other sports.
There's a pretty strong argument that something's afoot there. Pretty strong argument. You have no chance to win the game. It would only be about trying to get those points.
I guess what would you expect them to do? If
You like every football game that's ever ended, when you have no chance, when that ball is caught there, you realize that you cannot win the game now. By the time you get to the line, there's only going to be 3 seconds left. You need to get 10 points. You just don't even. You start shaking hands. The guys are running on the field.
yeah.
Without that flag that was thrown, they're already shaking hands.
Yeah.
It is statistically and
So did they
factually
then
impossible.
kick off?
No, the game just ended.
Oh, it was
right?
over.
The game just ended after
There
that.
was
field
no.
goal.
There were no seconds
Yeah.
left.
No.
Gotcha. Then that's crazy
It's
town.
fucking crazy. No,
I was gonna say if
there's no
there's
chance-
1 second
No,
left, then you
0
go for
seconds.
you try to hit somebody in the face and recover it, and then fucking run that.
No.
It is a little strange that you have that amount of time. It's 0, which is
0.
the amount of time, but it's nothing, and you are forced to run a play. Because normally you would just be like the guy he'd be tackled, and there'd be no flag, and then the clock just runs out. The fact that you are then forced to run a play, I guess, are you just gonna knee it? Are you gonna? I would fucking chuck that thing, but you know what I'm saying, though.
Right. I did.
Yeah, it's just I don't even know if you're forced to run the play. I think you just
Yeah, because at that point you're just trying to prevent injury because you
Yeah.
can't win.
right.
So just don't get your guys
Right.
injured.
I
Yeah.
don't know, man. The whole thing was crazy. Dave's video was hilarious. Jail. It was insane. He lost his mind.
That's the worst beat of all time. You have to investigate the Raiders. Investigate the Raiders. What are they doing? What the fuck? That's the worst beat of all time. That is cheating. What the fuck? I gotta rewind this. That's the worst fucking beat of all time. This is the worst beat of all time. Pete Carroll should be in fucking prison. Prison for Pete Carroll. First of all, the refs, everybody, this is prison. This is prison. There's 16 seconds left in the game. By the way, the play before this, there was fucking 20 seconds. They threw it. Prison. The spread's 8.5. They spiked the ball, by the way. They ran up and spiked it as a tempo. Prison Pete Carroll. Murder Pete Carroll. I want Pete Carroll murdered. Can you see this play right here? Can you see this play? 10, 9, 8. Scramble, throws it down. Game's over. There's 8, 7, 6. They throw a flag for sitting on the guy with 4 seconds. They're not even going to come close to getting a playoff. They call a delay a game with 4 seconds. They weren't even, the game was over. The game was over. What the hell? And then they run out the field goal unit, kick a field goal with no time left. Prison!
The flag is insane. The flag coming from the ref is insane because that could just be a guy that's like knows what's going on.
Well, then now you're bringing in a couple parties.
There's a lot of parties involved.
You're bringing in parties that are more likely to be
Big time.
trying to. I don't know that like Pete Carroll's in on it.
I don't know. I've always wondered. I mean, they know the lines.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if I were a ref, I would try not to. I would not look
Dude,
at
if you
those.
look at if you just look at your sports app, it says
Right, it's
underneath
on
it
there, yeah.
-8.5.
Nowadays, yeah.
I'm not alluding to anything. I'm not. This is all hearsay, right? This is all allegedly. Obviously, nothing is.
No. We didn't know.
It's just a crazy move, and it's just an all-time bad beat. Probably the worst ever. And there's been some pretty bad ones. That's probably the worst one ever. Watching that game, having that in the bag, and then watching the team kick a field goal with no time left to go from 10-7 is as bad as you can ever imagine.
Yeah, I mean, it's
like you're watching something built for you to lose on that screen.
Where'd we go for sushi last night?
Kyola and Encinitas.
Kyola?
Probably not getting that name right, but I do want to give those guys a shout out. That place is amazing.
Kyola?
And our guy Steve
And
just
Encinitas.
absolutely just dominating the ordering. I must have had, I would say 26 to 30 pieces of sushi last night.
I had.
We
so
talked
many,
about
but-
this with Steve, and he is the guy and his friend.
Kyola.
Kyola sushi.
We talked about this with Steve.
Awesome.
And we talked about it with him, and he is the guy in his friend group, point man at a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
It's always good to have one of those guys. Knows what he's doing, talking to the wait staff,
Yep.
just like making moves,
Yep.
ordering appetizers, all of it.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think it depends where you go. When we went to Ocean Club a couple weeks ago, that was me. And there's
Yeah.
a lot of pressure under that dinner, but
Mhm.
when you know a place well, you can kind of do it. Steve's nailed that last night.
Yeah, he said he goes to that sushi spot like 4 times a month, 3-4 times a month.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, gave all the sushi chefs. He gave them.
They had more Adidas stuff than
Rocking
gear.
Adidas hats. All the waiters were rocking Adidas quarter zips and hoodies, and it was awesome. What a spot, dude! Really good sushi. One sushi had watermelon on it. Another one had Wagyu steak, and another one had truffle.
One had jalapeno.
One
on it.
jalapeno. It was really just fresh sushi.
Good part of the country for sushi.
Oh yeah, maybe the best.
It's
Yeah.
right there.
Yep. The fish are, I mean, you see them out there
You're like,
swimming
That
around.
might be my dinner. I'm starving right now.
Yeah, we're
Can't
doing
wait.
dinner again
I
tonight.
think we're going to like an American pub tonight.
Tap house, yeah.
Tap house.
Cool.
So I might
that
get like a
going.
cheeseburger and
Ooh,
fries.
that sounds
Just
good.
keep it real.
Yeah, I'm yearning for some meat.
Mm-hmm.
Is yearning like a sexual word? Because I've been saying yearning a lot. Like I'm yearning for that.
I don't know if
Is
it's
that draped
sexual
in sexual innuendos?
yearning. I don't think it almost feels more like love,
Okay.
not sex based. It's
Okay.
more like
I'm yearning for your heart.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
something like
I've
John
been saying
Adams would have
yearning
written
like
to
crazy.
Abigail.
Like in my house too. Like I'm yearning for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
You might just be hungry.
Yeah, but yearning's just really got me hook, line, and sinker right now.
It's a good word.
Yeah.
Yearning.
Yeah, I don't think it's like lustful. I think you're all right.
I figured out my driver for like a hot second yesterday.
Is it another Tinker? situation?
No.
Tinkering or no?
Tempo.
What it is, it's just freaking feel versus real. And like, I know that I'm still not like structurally, and we're never all going to get structurally perfect.
Nope.
And we're, like, our technique will never be perfect. We're not going to bring it like to like I'm definitely always going to be flat. I'm going to bring it around my body a little bit. I'm never going to be able to get the square completely. All these people respond to me. I'm never going to get my club face perfectly square. My grip is always going to be a little weak. This is what feels natural to me. But like if I can, I've been duck hooking my drive so much that it honestly keeps me up at night because I know I'm capable of piping drives to my best ability. Little baby draws. When we go and get fit at TaylorMade, whatever, I'm hitting these things and they're like perfect. And then I go out there and and what it is, and I really think I figured it out, and I hope I can translate it for more rounds, and when I think that I'm swinging 50% in terms of speed, I actually feel like Hideki Matsuyama where I'm stopping. And then I swing. It's this fucking high, beautiful draw, exactly where I want it.
Okay.
And then I watch a video back, and it's like, oh, I'm swinging hard and fast. It feels like I'm going in fucking slow motion. And I need to just do that for the mental reps to be like, that's now normal. And I told Trent this, and I told Splav that last night. Like, I think I just have a tempo problem with drumming, with everything, with golf. I'm always going faster. I always think I'm going the right tempo, and then I listen back to my drumming or I watch my golf swing, and everything's fast and short. So I just got to start slowing it down. Maybe it's just my brain just like twitches a little bit quicker. It's almost like my brain sees things in like 60 frames per second, and I need to go to like 24.
That checks out.
I need to go like 24 frames per second, movie speed, where things are a little bit smoother.
I think that's a great swing thought.
I do too.
Frames per second.
Everything's fucking 60. Like I'm seeing things. You know when you turn your camera onto 60 frames and everything's just a little faster and you can't believe it? That's what I think that's normal to me.
The drive you hit on 18 yesterday was stunning.
Was that the one you put up on
Yeah.
video?
Yeah.
A single swing?
Yeah.
Big new.
Yeah. Our new thing. We're
content
just
idea?
Yep.
One
Grant
swing.
Horvat goes out there and just puts one swing out on Instagram, gets like 98,000 likes.
That's our new move.
I got.
It was great.
I got 7,000 likes.
That's
I
a
think
lot.
it was like 6,000.
That's a
I
shit
think it
ton.
was 3,000.
Okay, that's not as
It
many.
was 7,000 something.
That's not as many, but people do love it.
Yeah, he
One
got,
swing.
Like 98,000 or something. Like that.
Incredibly consumable when you do that.
It
It's like
is.
I'm not going to not
12
watch
seconds.
it. Right.
Easy.
I'm growing out my hair a little bit.
You are. It's getting long.
I'm just gonna see where it takes me. It's the winter time. I wear hats all the time. I told Adam, I'm just gonna see what happens.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
too.
I'm not growing it long though. I'm not. I know.
I think you might be soft. You might be soft launching long
You gotta.
hair.
I also gotta. You gotta like trim it as it goes because it gets like fat.
This guy's looked into it.
I've
Big
looked
time
into
looked into it.
Yeah.
That's a guy that's growing his hair out.
Yeah.
I really want you to
I'm
do
not
this.
doing it. No,
yes.
no.
No.
I want to get to the level where I can play a putt punk show where the hair can fall over a bandana.
Yes.
Come on, do it.
Because I had that once.
You have, like.
I don't have enough.
No, but I'm saying like when you tried to grow out the mustache or when you grew it out for the Islanders playoff run,
Yeah.
like we all knew that it was like this is not
gonna
going to
work.
work.
It's a losing battle.
But you can grow hair.
Yeah.
You can grow hair.
Yeah.
You don't have like a big
Yeah.
like I got a big bald spot.
Yeah.
Helicopter can land up there.
Yeah.
But like you can just like
you
let your
got
hair
like
grow.
you got a head of hair growing.
Yeah.
Right.
You should do it.
Support.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. You can notice it's growing. It's
coming over your
more.
ears.
Yeah, it's like curling a little bit
It's
around.
curling.
Yeah.
Support.
What? The wings, yeah. Something I'm dealing with.
You've got nothing but support from me.
Something I'm dealing with.
We'll see what happens.
All right.
Might
All
start
right.
whipping my hair around.
I can't wait. I can't wait, dude. I can't wait.
Let's get the hell out of here.
All right.
Fucking
All right.
whiplash.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you Thursday. Hit it hard.
Hit it
Hit
hard.
hard.